This is the red Skittle from Team Skills for Force of Will, just after the launch day for the new set of the Moonlight Savior. We're going to be doing a deck profile on the friend from another world, Kaguya. So first, her judgment cost is 1 light, 1 moon, and then any color. She has the handy dandy effect that any moon you cast can also generate green as well, and then whenever a moon card is played, you draw a card. Then what matters is the flip side for everybody. Okay. So, even when she's flipped over, the moon being able to create green stays, which is very significant. And whenever you awaken a card, this card gains 2 counters, and for each counter she gains plus 100, plus 100. So this is pretty much a weakened dot deck. So you can also tap a moon to cancel any automatic ability. So this is abilities like Enters, Awakenings, anything like that, which they don't actually have to activate, it just goes automatically. And then also, you can tap 1 mana, light mana, and then 1 of any other color, to prevent the next damage that this card would be dealt. And then your God's Art, which takes 1 light, 1 moon, and 3 other colors, to rest all resonators your opponent controls. Then proceed, recover all your magic stones. You may pay awakening costs 1 less this turn. So, the God Art, rest all your opponents' resonators, recover all your magic stones, then all your awakening cards cost a moon less. And essentially, every awakening card you do play is only a single moon. So then, on to our deck. We're going to start off with their Gaias and the resonators and their spells. So, we play 4 of the Leviathan Vessel Apollo. So first of all, this gives your ruler flying. That's kind of significant because most rulers don't have flying. And then you can it also has 2 tap abilities. One, you can tap it to produce a moon for any awakening ability or anything you do with your ruler, such as her God's Art or her Judgment. And then you can also tap this card to banish it to bounce 1 of your creatures back to your hand, so allows you to be able to reuse your awakening monsters more frequently. So now on to our spells. We're playing 3 Kaguya Premonitions. If you don't awaken the card, it just gets target resonator gains +2/+4. It's a quick cast, so it's a good way to protect your guys. And if you do the awakening, you can just pay 1 moon to prevent the next damage that would be dealt to this card, and then for every 100 damage that card receives, it gains a counter, and then it gains +100/+100 for each counter it controls, and then this boost is permanent. So that is either really good early game, or it can become a pain in the ass for your opponent late game. So next, we're playing this little handy dandy card. Really don't need to play a whole lot of it because it can get cloggy, but it's called Shining Strike. It goes really well with your ruler because then that way you can use both effects without having to worry about it. So essentially, you if you're about to die from a resonator or something, you play this, rest a resonator, and draw a card. So essentially, there's no negative side to it for you. Protection plus draw. And then we play 2 of this cancel card, which is called the Wall of Wind. So the way this works is it can cancel a target spell, which we all know is good, but the disadvantage to this one is if your controller has another active mana, they can pay that active mana so that way that card still goes off. But if you play it properly, like when your opponent's trying to tap all of the stones for a maximum cost card, play that, they have no choice but to get rid of it. And then we play everyone's favorite, 3 of the Seal of the Wind and the Light. Pay a light and a wind, cancel a target spell, and then you can pay the awakening cost, which is 1 moon, and then this card can't be chased. So essentially, if you pay those 2, then a moon, you cancel anything your opponent plays, except for the rulers. Then we play 4 of the Ezekiel Stones because obviously it's good. It's Ezekiel Stones. It's one of the only cards that can stop summons consistently or do other things that you need, such as shuffle your opponent's deck back if they play a graveyard heavy deck, or boost up your monsters if needed. And again, it costs 2 wins to play. But then, that's all of our spell lineups for cancels and regalias. Then we play the 2 additions, which is the Holy Moon This gives all your awakening monsters you play an additional 2/2. You can also pay a moon +2 to rest a target J Resonator, which can come handy if you just on your turn if you want to kill something. So then we have to play 4 of this little 1-drop edition, which is called the Moonbreeze Elf. This is better than obviously Elvish Priest or our little dirt fairies, which produce, because first of all, this fairy can't be attacked. So once you tap it for a stone, the only way they're killing it is with an ability. They cannot attack this card, which essentially is what you need. And then we play 2 of the Luma Ilvis. This card's a 1-drop flying with 3. You can pay the Awakening to recover it, and then it gains 2 counters. Then for each counter it gains 100. So essentially, turn 2, if you played this card turn 1, tap it, when you summon this card, tap it to produce the Awakening. Then this allows you to recover a card, so you can recover this to be able to use it again this turn, and this card has the bonus. So, hashtag good combo. Then we play 3 Crescent Moons. This is a 1-drop 2/6, good for a blocker first turn, obviously. Or you can pay the Awakening, which is one of the heavier costs for Awakening, which is 1 moon and 1 light. But when this card is put into the field, you deal 600 damage to a Resonator. Then if this happens, it gains 2 counters. Then for each counter, it gains 100, like most of your other Awakening cards. So, really large blocker. Then we play 2 of the Wolf of the Moonlight. This card's a 2-drop 5/5, or you can do the Awakening with the Moon to give it an evolution counter. Then when this card has an evolution counter, it gains target attack +3/3. So it's nice and beefy, but not something that can really take complete control. And then we play one of the most broken cards for this deck from the new set, which is Tatsuki Noble, the Myth Moon Resonator, first of its kind so far, which is a 5/7. And the way this card works, players cannot play active abilities of Resonators they control unless they control a moon card. So, moon like this, or obviously any moon additions like Bloody Moon, Pale Moon, Holy Moon, Pitch Black Moon, any of that sorts, so your opponent won't be able to play any of their tap abilities or so on and so forth. Or you can do when you also play this card, it has an Awakening cost. When this card enters your field, destroy a target non-moon edition card. So essentially anything that's not a moon. So a lot of cards, such as any equipped swords or cards that allow you not to attack or protection of the fairies, any of that shenanigans. And then you also get 2 counters and gives this card plus another 2/2, which will make it a 7/9. And then last but not least, we play 2 what everyone calls the Funny Bunny, but she's also known as Knight of the Solstice. She's a 3-drop 7/7, and when this card enters the field, you search your deck for a moon card. So, your deck really only has 2 targets. You have this, because it's a Moon Resonator, or the Holy Moon of the Pure Night. You do not search cards with moon in its name. You search a card that is an additional field moon or a Moon Resonator. And these are also the cards that work well with your Kaguya, because whenever a moon is played, you draw a card. So, this is the main deck for this, guys. But then we gotta move on to the Magic Stone decks, so that you guys know what to properly play. That's pretty obvious. We play 4 Moonbreeze Memoria. This allows you to produce a moon or a light, but with the ruler. That moon can also produce a green, so you can produce moon, light, and green. Then we also play 4 Magic Stones of Gusting Skies, which allows you to produce a light and a green, which everything in your deck's light and green. Then for our last 2 stones, we play the Magic Stone of the Moonlight. So, the reason you can play this card in this deck, because first of all, if you get this turn 1 in most other decks, you can't produce anything because you have no other stones to use the second effect to copy a color. But with this ruler, the moon is allowed to produce a green, so you are able to play it first turn, depending on what you draw. So like your Moonbreeze Fairies or Wall of Moon. So, and then it copies every other color. So you only play 3 colors. So this Works exactly like your Moonbreeze when you need it. So other than that, guys, this is the deck profile for Kaguya. Any comments or questions, or things you probably want to see with the deck change maybe, or any ideas, comment below. Other than that, have a good day, and keep on playing Force of Will.